So I'm back here today to take some static pressure measurements from these ducts to suss out just how far we need to go with the duct reworks. Now, obviously these two here are absolutely cooked. No matter what, they're gonna have to get changed. These two we may get away with, so I'll wait. Again, I'm concerned about that, but we'll see. We'll take the static pressure measurements anyway. They have gone ahead with the quote on that fan motor there to replace that one on the YKM. It just hasn't arrived yet, so that'll be another video. But anyway, yeah, we're going to take some static pressure measurements of this duct and see if we can make any alterations. And then they also want me to set a schedule on the A200, so I may as well update the software on that thing while I'm here as well. So yeah, just jump into it. I just had a quick wander around inside, and honestly, it really is a testament to these units. They're basically maintaining set point with all of this crap that was wrong on it as well. So they really are doing a fantastic job. Anyway, let's jump into drilling some holes. Okay, so I drilled my little 10mm hole there. I've just got my Testo 510i we're going to do this with. Alrighty, so we've just had the mechanical guys come here to look at what it's going to take to sort something out with this one. Obviously, blowing into these condensers is not ideal either. I'm still taking some measurements, right? So I've drilled a couple of holes. I've drilled one there, one there. I've drilled one underneath and one over there, right? Just trying to see where I'm getting the highest reading. So I'll put some screen grab up now. So about total, it reckons 35 pascals. Now, disclaimer, I've never done this before. I've never had to measure the static pressure of a condenser fan. So I think I'm doing it right. I'm basically just trying to see where I'm getting my highest readings and basing that off it, right? So if it's only 35 pascals, I mean, that doesn't seem anywhere near high enough for what I thought it would be, to be honest with you. But I think what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna shut this thing down. I'm gonna change the dip switch settings to go up to, I think it's either 35 or, I think it's 30, or there's one above that. I think it got as high as 80, to be honest. Whatever's above 30, I'm gonna go to that and see what difference that makes to our suction pressure, because at its peak, so it's obviously been monitoring for a little while, I'll show you, I think it got down as low as like minus 25. You can see there, like it's just dropping, and that fan's running 100%. It's trying its ass to bring that back up to, you know, probably zero, to be honest with you. You can always jump onto the board and suss out what it's actually trying to maintain, but it's usually 2 degrees to 0 degrees, somewhere in between there. So anyway, I'm going to shut this thing down, change those dip switch settings, and see if that makes a difference. So we can see here in the installation manual for the YKM, our SW6-4 and SW6-5. So I'm going to turn SW6-4 to on to indicate high static. And then SW6-5, if I leave it off, it's 60 pascals. If I turn it on, it's 30 pascals. So we'll try 30 first and see if that makes a difference. Okay, SW6-4 and 5 to on. Back up and running after the changes, so we'll get this thing Right, so system's turned back on now after the dip switch changes. We can already see the highest RPM our fan went on 100 before was 790. It's now up to 850, so that's at the 30 pascals static. So we're going to keep an eye on our suction pressure there. So TE, we're going to keep an eye on that and see what happens. So we can see our evap temp, so we've been running for about 10 minutes now. Our evap temp's looking pretty good. Now, the fan still hasn't dropped below 100% though, right? So it's maintaining a 0 degree evap temp, but the fan should still be able to ramp down, right? It's having to run 100% to keep that at 0. So what I might end up doing is actually changing it to read 60 pascals of pressure above it, and then we'll see if that makes a difference. Again, we are replacing that fan, so the fact that we're running it now, going to run it faster, it's going to be less of a problem. I'd rather this thing have a fighting chance. Also, we can see our target condensing temp, whoops, there we go, is only 36 degrees, and the frequency of our compressor is only 40. I reckon this compressor wants to ramp up higher. Actually, we'll check what its target condensing temp is. I reckon it's going to be higher than that. So you can see this thing wants to ramp up to 49 degrees for our condensing temp. So I reckon once that compressor starts to ramp up higher, we're going to see our suction pressure drop again. Target evap temp. I have decided to go up to the 60 pascal, so that SW6-5 switch is now off. So I've just gone around to the other ones and drilled some holes. Like I said, these ones are probably going to be fine based off the fact that apparently that one's fine. Yeah, we'll reserve judgment for that one. The one that won't be fine is this one here. So they've got obviously 2 fans, but they've got 2 sets of ductwork coming off it, which is 2 sets of static pressures that we need to take, which means that we can only adjust one. Like, it operates as one system. Like, there's 2 fans, but it's one system, right? So regardless, this one might just need to be adjusted where, you know, this one, or they just do one coming from the top. You know, again, I don't 100% know. We'll just grab some static pressure readings first though. Fan RPM's now 930, so we'll keep monitoring for a while. Just remeasured the static on this one. It's now reading about 38 pascals, so well under the 60, so that's good. Right, I've got this system up and running now, so I'm going to test the static pressures on this one. So I'm actually getting a negative reading coming out of this one here. So there's a, I'll throw up the screen grabs, but there was a, I think it was like 25, I can't remember now, 25 pascals pressure, static pressure on there, and I was getting -8. So I'm going to go outside and see if we can measure. There's definitely, so the first one's there and the other one's there. There's definitely air coming out. Like it's definitely, yeah, it must have just been where I was holding the probe, but I didn't move it around. Anyway, something weird's happening. I mean, that one absolutely needs to change because, like I said, it's 2 fans, but it's operating as one system, so they need to be in the same duct. So I've decided for the time being for this one to set the static pressure to 30 pascals. SW6-7. SW6-7, hold on. Low noise mode selection. So low, I don't know why that's on, because it is loud as shit in here, so I don't know why low noise is a priority. I might turn that off, actually. Alright, so I can do this with one hand. So SW6-7 is going off. I'm going to turn 5. It's on. So that's 30 pascals. So the PUHZ has just come out of initial mode. So it's after power on, it's looking for a couple of parameters. I can't remember what they are, but it'll limit the frequency. Now it's gone back to ordinary, so the frequency will go higher than the 40 that it was on just before. So now we'll get a proper indication of what's actually happening. See, these fans now ramp up to 1090 RPMs, but we've still got a -4. It's staying pretty consistent. Maybe the coilers are icing up, but either is that one actually since we've adjusted it. But even that one now, so you can see our frequency's gone up higher. Where are we? So we've got 930 on the RPMs, and we have a -1.5. So it kind of keeps going up to about 0, -1.5, -2. Kind of bumping around there, so it's still looking a lot better, but the fan is not, like, it's still having to work its absolute arse off. So might even bump up the static on that one again to 60 pascals now. So while I'm waiting for that one to reset, I've just changed. All you have to do is basically switch around SW6 station 4 and SW6 station 5. So 5's now off and 4's on, 60 pascals. Going to jump into testing these two here. I imagine that they're probably going to be similar, 30 pascals. Alright, cool. So this one should go into a test mode now. We'll be able to test. So that's probably total about 25 pascals, and it was pretty much the same for the other one, so not surprising that it's basically identical. So I've changed both of these to 60 pascals just because it was close enough to 30. Like I said, it's not that it has to go to 100%, it's just it has the option to if it needs to. So waiting for these to load back up, put them through another test mode and just make sure everything's okay. But yeah, that one's been running for, I don't know, a couple of hours now. I don't think that one's running, but so since all of those adjustments, that one has been completely fine. It's still freezing in here. So no freeze up there. That one probably hasn't been running that much, to be honest with you. And these ones are looking all right as well. So end result was I've changed the static on these two to 60 kPa. I've changed it on that one to also 60, and actually they're all 60. I've just realized. There you go. The max on this one is 60, though, otherwise I probably would have gone maybe a touch higher. But as it stands, I'm done here for today. I will come back to fix the fan on this one when we do have it eventually. So we are back today to replace that fan motor on the YKM there. So as you can see, it's a bit of a mission. Got to try to remove some of the duct. I'm hoping I don't have to remove this vent here, so it's only supported there. So hopefully we'll be able to get something up to prop that up. But yeah, we'll shut this thing down and get stuck into it. So you can see this one here hasn't iced up, but this one here we've still got some problems with. So obviously nothing's been done yet. Out this section here, you can kind of see just how much of a, well, at least I thought it was going to be more of a restriction. I'll end up testing the static pressure again once we've replaced the fan motor, but we're going to leave this section on. We'll just be able to do it from here, take it out, replace it and test. So it's just these two loops here, fan inverter board, take this one out, that one out, cut a couple of cable ties and undo some bolts.
Oh, sorry, did you want me to?
No, all good, man. I'm just going to be shoving cameras in your face all the time.
That's all good.
gonna take longer than what I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, we probably won't need it. New one's in place. Oh, the wire's down in position and ready to go. So we've got the fan blade on. That's it. Have it. So this part's back in. This had like a foam insert on that side, so it was just that side we needed to do the silicone on. Up there and up the top as well. We get ready to turn the seat back on. Right, we've reassembled. We're going to turn power back on. We're back, so we'll get this thing to run. Wait for this to cycle, but our fan's now up and running. We'll wait for it to hit 100%, which it'll probably go to straight away. Sweet, we'll set up our, we'll get our static pressure readings now. This was where I was getting the largest static pressure reading from the last time, so I'm gonna go based off this again. So still getting about 24 pascals on the positive side. I haven't measured the negative side this time, just on the positive. So yeah, it's relatively close, I think within maybe 5 pascals or whatnot. It's a hell of a lot quieter though, which is nice. Now, like I said before, I never actually had to measure the static pressure of a condenser fan before. So like I said, I kind of just took multiple readings and I was just going based off the highest one. So if anyone's got any advice on the best places to measure your static pressure for your condensers, definitely hit me up in the comments because I'd love to read that. But yeah, at the moment we're just waiting for this thing to come out of initial mode. So like I said, the last time initial mode, it basically just like limits the frequency to about 40 hertz, I think it is, until it sees a couple of parameters and then it shuts down and goes back into ordinary. So just waiting for that to happen now. But it does sound a hell of a lot better in here, which is nice. We went off and had something to eat and left this thing to its own devices for a while, but check that out. So we are getting quite close to set point, but sorry, there we go. If I go back, I think that's the first time I've seen this thing drop below 100 for a long time. So actually ever. So definitely made a difference. What we've decided we'll do as well, we've got a bit of extra time. We're actually going to update the softwares on these Y&Ws, so get stuck into it. So we'll start with the heat recoveries, which here you can see we've got version 1.14, so the most recent for these is 1.2, or at least that's the version I have. So yeah, we'll upload that to the USB and get going. Okay, so we've isolated power, put my USB with the latest version on, and then SW7-9 to on. All right. So Pro means we've gone into like a basically a software update mode, and then after that, I'm just gonna wait for a little bit for it to do its thing, and then we're gonna hit the SW3P button. All right, so the SWP3 button is up there, so you just hit that. And it's updating. Once it's done, it says end, so we can take it out then. Beautiful. So we'll kill power, take out the USB, and turn that SW7-9 dip switch to off, and then turn it back on, and it should be the latest software. And there we go, version 120 or 1.20. And we'll do the same thing on this one. So we can see here now, so 51 and 53 on versions 1.2. So now we'll jump onto the heat recovery. The most important thing when you're doing the software updates is just make sure you've got your right software. So these are YNW-A's, but there is a difference between the YNW-A1s. They're made in different factories in different places. So there is a different software for those ones. Just confirm 100% that you're either doing the -A or -A1. So these are -A's, so we're good to go. I've got the 530 now loaded up onto the USB. And that is all the software updates done now. So all current, all put through a bit of a test run to make sure that they still operate as well. This thing here is still running, been running all day, no ice, and a hell of a lot quieter. So yeah, that's pretty much me done until they've kind of done the duct rectifications here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching.